Bank fraud victims will receive a refund. Changes to the retirement visa. More information on the long stay visa and flood warnings in Bangkok. That's all coming up in Good Morning Thailand on the Thaiger. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand. It's a Wednesday morning and I'm Jay. This is Tim.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Right, let's get right into the show. But actually, let's not get right into the show. Let's talk about coffee culture.
Okay.
It's a beautiful mug you've got there.
Well, thank you very much, Jay. Yes, I've also got the new honey espresso and Brazilian kick in the new medium-sized packets.
We've been spoiled.
These are the larger packets.
We always get the new coffee culture coffee beans.
And these ones are the small packets.
Travel package, just for tasters. So if you'd like to taste some Thai ground coffee or coffee beans roast coffee, find your blend at coffeeculture.asia and type in the code Thaiger for a 10% discount. Click the link in the description below. All right.
Where are you going to retire?
That is an amazing question.
Have you thought about it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, to be
a few years ahead.
a few years ahead, I have
Okay.
thought about it. Chiang Mai, that's my place.
There's a thing in Thailand which people sort of call the retirement visa, but it's actually, the official name is the OA visa.
Yes.
Very popular, and you have to be over 50 years old, so you've got, another 1 or 2 years to go. And then you're allowed to stay in the kingdom for at least 1 year at a time. And not only that, you can then renew it after 12 months. So this is the retirement visa. But Jay, they have made some changes
Yes.
to the visa. And we've just learned about this morning. I think there's some more details on Natty's Top Thailand Stories program. But Thai PBS have published this information that now, if you want to get a retirement visa, you used to have to get a health insurance policy valued at 400,000 baht. Now, the health policy needs to be at a value of 3 million baht. So that is a really big change.
Yeah.
It just means that you don't have to front up with 3 million baht, but you need to have a policy valued at that. Now, interesting was the reason that the Public Health Ministry gave for this. They said that the new rule is intended to ensure that people on these visas will receive proper medical treatment if they become sick. Of course, the code is that in the past there have been foreigners who've been racking up huge amounts of debt in public hospitals and just walking out. And there's really hasn't been much the hospitals have been able to do about it. And people then just hop on a plane and leave the country. So I think that's the reason that they're upping the requirement for people who want a retirement visa, also known as the geezer visa.
The geezer visa. I thought a geezer was just like a bloke, a man.
A sort of an old geezer. So if you are on a geezer visa, you might have to look at upping your insurance policy in the future. So hot news today on Good Morning Thailand.
Right, hot news indeed. A quick update, Bangkok residents and Bangkok as a city now has reached 70% full vaccination of its residents.
So they're saying that Bangkokians now have crossed that magic 70% mark.
Yep.
It's a bit of a random number. Once you're at 70%, is everybody suddenly safe?
Yes.
But that's the number we've reached.
Right, 5.43 million people, that is the number that they have given, so far have now received the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Now, 80,000 odd people, they weren't odd, but 80,000 people were vaccinated just yesterday.
Yep.
They're trying to get at least over 100,000 every single day, vaccinations.
Right, so we're on par for November 1 reopening.
So just a bit of an update on that reopening. What the reopening means is it's not all of Thailand that's going to be open, just to add confusion. And everything we talk about this reopening at the moment, nothing has been finalised. Less than, 10 days before Thailand is meant to be reopened.
It will probably come out in the Royal Gazette about 2 days before.
Or about a day before, or on the day. So Bangkok is joining 14 other provinces. Can I read the provinces out?
Yes.
So see if you're on this list if you're living in Thailand. Samut Prakan, which is just southeast of Bangkok. Krabi, Phang Nga, Prachuap Khiri Khan, which includes Hua Hin. Phetchaburi, Chonburi, which includes Pattaya. Ranong, Chiang Mai, Loei, which is up in sort of far northeastern Thailand, near the Lao border.
Yep.
Just on the way to Vientiane. Buriram, also up in the northeast. Nong Khai, Udon Thani, Rayong, and Trat. Trat almost down on the Cambodian border. Good beaches. So they're the 14 provinces that are opening on the 1st of November. Mm-hmm. So what happens if you want to go from here to there, but you're going through a province that isn't on the list? I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I don't have an answer either, but it's hard to see them stopping people from going wherever they want.
Back to Bangkok. Get back on the plane.
Right, yeah, pretty much. All right, well, let's take a quick break, and after we come back, we're going to be talking about how the banks have now started to offer refunds for a fraud case that affected a lot of people, as well as looking at some flood warnings from the governor of Bangkok to the people living near Chao Phraya River. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay, this is Tim. Before we get onto the second part of the show, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mr. Mark Noonan. Thank you for being a Thaiger legend.
Yes, legend. Thank you very much for becoming a member.
That's right. Thank you to all our members who support us and watch the show. And a quick shout out to Valerie from the UK, who is actually mum of Adam. Someone from our office who watches the show every day. So a quick
Who's
shout out
Adam?
to her and say hello. Adam's one of the real estate agents.
Oh, God, there's so many of them now. I don't know.
Yeah, our office is full of about, 50 people?
We share the office on the 7th. No, I can't say where it is, but we share the office with a real estate big tech company.
Right. Hope you're enjoying Spain, by the way. Okay, let's move on. Banks have started to offer refunds. Now, some of you who are wondering, what for? There has been a fraud case going on in the yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Sunday.
Yes. So yesterday the news broke out that there was a big online fraud case. Cards and accounts were being used to make online transactions happen without people knowing about it. And the banks have today come out and said that they will offer refunds to those people who have been affected.
Did you notice anything coming out of your account?
No. I don't have enough money in my bank account for them to care about.
Yeah, I didn't have any strange transactions on mine, but a lot of people have had transactions that they were, well, that's a bit strange, but they weren't like big, they were sort of a lot of little ones.
Oh, okay.
So they were sort of ones that people might have gone, oh, maybe that's Netflix just taking up my monthly subscription, or they weren't enough to sort of really worry them, but they've got onto it pretty quickly, and good on the banks for saying that they'll reimburse people for those amounts.
That's right, and quite quickly as well, because they've said about 3 to 5 days for people who've been affected with debit cards, but there were also people who were affected by credit cards. That's right, 5 business days for debit card holders, and for credit card holders, banks will close the accounts first and reopen those credit card accounts without any costs.
Good.
So that's a quick update for the bank fraud case.
Good on the banks.
Good on the banks. Right, flood warnings.
Yeah, we're still sort of, even though it's a bright sunny day out there, the waters from the northeast and the north that have been coming down the Chao Phraya River and through Ayutthaya are sort of reaching Bangkok, and if there's a high tide, it looks like there's been a few incursions.
That's right, and depending on where you're living, like we're currently around the Asok area, you don't see water or floods anywhere around here, so it's a bit strange that just, a few kilometers to our left or right, I'm not sure.
Chao Phraya is that way.
That way, sorry, I'm new
Actually,
here.
the Chao Phraya is right there.
Right there.
Right there.
That is actually the Chao Phraya River.
It is the Chao Phraya.
Right. So there have been flood warnings. Now, we have been speaking about floods for a couple of weeks now and how we have had warnings, but the BMA, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, has come out and said that places around the Chao Phraya River, that river specifically, yes, they have been given strong flood warnings, and they have been told to watch out between Saturday and October 30th. That is when the flood will really kind of take its impact or have its highest impact, and the water level will rise.
Yeah, it's all part of the tides as well. When there's a high tide in the Chao Phraya River, which is very close, of course, to the Gulf of Thailand, mixing with some of the waters that have been flowing down from central Thailand through Ayutthaya, which had sort of flooding last weekend. Now, a lot of those floodwaters have reached the city, so I don't think they're talking about huge inundations, but just a warning for people who live near the river to be aware of it.
Well, the warnings are for about 20 to 40 centimetres. That is the current prediction.
Okay, so maybe some Wellington boots if you're very close to the Chao Phraya River.
Right, Tim, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the long stay visa and have a quick look at Cambodia and its tourism. Right.
Well, visas, generally.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay. This is Tim. Tim, it's now time to talk about the long stay visa.
You don't want to talk about your shirt?
What about my shirt?
We said rocking the lumberjack look again.
Yeah, but this is a city lumberjack.
And it's like flannel.
It's not the expected, red color. It's more black. It's more modern in my mind. More city-like.
As long as you keep thinking that, that's fine.
That's what I'm going with. Okay, long stay visa in Thailand. Right. We did speak about a visa that the government was going to be coming up with for people who they're trying to invite people to come and invest into Thailand more. They're trying to attract wealthy, high-earning foreigners to come to Thailand, work here, invest in real estate, invest in businesses.
And the reward is you can stay here for a long time.
Yeah, without worries, extra worries. You still have worries. So basically, to sum it up, if you do come to Thailand and if you invest about $1 million, because everybody has $1 million to spend.
Yeah.
That can be also in real estate, not just business. You will be getting a 1-year work permit. Wow.
So this is saying that you can stay for a year at a time for up to 5 years.
Yes.
And you invest in the country by either buying real estate or investing in government bonds or something.
That's right.
And that you not only can stay here, but you get a work permit. And I think there's also additional advantages for the spouse and the children.
That's right. You can also, just a quick ad, you can also invest in the stock market, for example, or real estate or business. Yes, those who qualify for this TPC, which is the Thai Privilege Card, this will allow their spouse to also come with them, as well as their legitimate children.
This is in addition to the visas that are already available. This is just a proposal at the moment. It hasn't been passed. I think the other thing about this is it's in addition to the elite visas, which you pay for. But with the elite visas, you don't get a work permit.
Yep.
So you can come and stay here, but you can't work officially.
Yes. Well, yeah. So good luck to anyone who wants to come and invest that amount of money in Thailand. At least you'll have some benefits for that. So it is good in a way.
But it's just a proposal at this stage. It's not been passed.
That's right.
I think it'll happen though, because I do want more people to come back to Thailand, and this is just another way that will suit some people.
That's right. All of this information is coming from the Deputy Government Spokesperson, Kun Traisuri Tai Sarankun.
Now, a lot of people on our forums, when talking about coming back to Thailand, say, "Oh, Thailand, I'm over Thailand. They're making it too difficult. I'm going to go to Vietnam or Cambodia or somewhere else sort of in this region." Well, the thing is that it's not that easy to get into Cambodia, and they've just announced their entry requirements for this current opening phase. So at the moment, they've decided to retain quarantine for people between 3 and 14 days. If you're an investor, for example, they'll say you only have to go into quarantine for 3 days. But if you're just a normal tourist, you'll have to be in quarantine for at least 7 days if you want to go to Cambodia at the moment. Now, not only that, you'll have to have a COVID-free test before you get on the plane and once you arrive in Cambodia, and you'll have to pay a security deposit of $1,000, which I imagine is refundable. It's to do with making sure that you don't end up using up public hospital space in Cambodia, I suppose. Now, this is good news for people who are unvaccinated. What if I'm unvaccinated? Can I go to Cambodia? Yes, you can, but you'll have to do 14 days of quarantine. Now, if you want to compare that to Thailand, in Thailand, they're saying from November the 1st, if you are from a low-risk country, then you'll be able to come to the country without doing quarantine. If you're from one of those low-risk countries, we don't know what that final list of low-risk countries is at the moment, so that's a difference. And also to do with Thailand, if you arrive here, I think this is one of the questions we've got on the Thaiger Bites a bit later too, but when you arrive here, they will do a PCR test at the airport, and then you're going to have to wait until you get a negative result. So you're going to have to stay, if you arrive in Bangkok, you're going to have to stay in Bangkok at an approved hotel until the result of that test has come. Right. Basically, you're under house arrest, if you want to put it that way.
Currently, yes.
Yes, so that's the proposal. You'll have to wait till that test is approved. Now, the other thing is that all entrants into Cambodia must have COVID medical insurance, and it's only available from one company. And the company it's called Forte, and it will only allow insurance for people up to 75 years old. So if you're older than 75 years old, you're not going back to Cambodia at the moment. So there's just a few differences between getting back to Cambodia right now and to Thailand. And in the case of Cambodia, they've announced their re-entry rules, and we'll have these published on the Thaiger.com. In Thailand, we're still waiting for a final determination with, 10 days left.
Right, yep. So stay tuned for that. More information on that as well on the Thaiger.com. Right, that's all for today.
Yeah, I just got some notes about in Songkhla at the moment, down the southern part of Thailand. It's still a real hotspot for COVID-19. Songkhla, Yala, Naritawat, Patani. So those areas are still quite a hotspot, and the government's throwing quite a lot of resources, including, and importantly, getting down there and vaccinating as many people as they can. So the southern area of Thailand, known of course for its insurgency, is quite a hotspot for COVID-19, even though a lot of the rest of the country, including Bangkok, the numbers are falling quite dramatically.
Right, Tim, that's all we have for today. Those are all the top stories from Thailand. Anything to add?
That's about all I've got.
Right, so thanks, Tim, for joining for the show today.
Pleasure.
Thank you to Shai in front of the buttons. Thank you to Jason on the side of the buttons. And thank you, viewers, for watching the show. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. We'll see you tomorrow.